an essay. Сегодня у нас очень такой особенный день, потому что мы первый раз, на самом деле, в EducationUSA Ukraine начинаем такой, как бы, community of learners, тех, которые хотят вместе понять, что такое онлайн-learning, как это происходит. И сегодня у меня особенная радость, потому что нашу сегодняшнюю встречу будет фасилитировать один из наших студентов, Денис Глик. Он вам расскажет немножко о себе, и сегодня он будет нашим main speaker today. Но прежде чем мы начнем презентацию, хотела бы спросить, на каком языке было бы вам комфортно. Мы сегодня выбрали говорить на английском языке, потому что Денис предпочитает на английском. I actually prefer to speak in English too, but I just want to make sure that everybody are comfortable. Давайте убедимся, что всем понятно на английском языке. Все понимают? И если кому-то будет сложно, пожалуйста, дайте нам знать, что мы тоже можем говорить на украинском, на русском, да, чтобы всем было комфортно и удобно. Окей, ну тогда вы готовы начать? Окей, отлично, хорошо. Меня зовут Наталья Еден, я старший радник з питань вищої освіти у США в EducationUSA здесь в Киеве. И сейчас приглашаю сюда к нам Дениса. Можно даже его встретить с аплодисментами.
Well, it's an honor for me to be here today, and thank you all for coming. As I was introduced by Natalia, my name is Dennis, and I'm an Opportunity Funds Program student, and I also was a Flex student back in the days. And today, I think it's a great thing that we gather today for. It's online learning. That's the thing I'm very passionate about, and I've been doing online learning for more than 2 years now. And I thought of like, well, I should start the presentation with sharing my experience with you. But then I thought, well, what's so important about online learning that I want you to know? And this morning I came across a very interesting article about a girl from Pakistan. And it was saying that she was only 10 years old when she first started her online course. She enrolled in an online course offered by Stanford professor, which was a part of a Udacity platform. And then I thought, well, the online course is interesting. Maybe it was something easy. You know, there are courses on literature, which you can just read a book and do the course. And there are courses about, like introductory courses about some simple topics. And then I kept on reading, and I found out that the course she enrolled in was in artificial intelligence. And wow, this is a topic which is taught in the, graduate level courses in one of the best universities in the world. And this is very hard to learn. And I found out that she actually completed the whole course. She successfully submitted all of the materials and received a passing grade, which is usually 70% or higher. And right now, she's 14 years old. She has completed more than 20 courses. She's doing her independent research in Pakistan, and she's aiming to enroll as an undergraduate student at MIT. And I'm pretty sure she has all of the chances because, the experience she earned with those online courses, the learning and education she received with the help of them, helped her to endorse her learning, helped her to broaden her horizons and understand the opportunities available. And I thought that's the story which can motivate us to learn with the help of online learning and with the help of MOOCs in particular, and open these opportunities for us. So the first things first, well, I will be using the presentation which was made as the part of a Stanford learning program. And I think it's a great presentation. So if you would like to learn a bit more about it, you can go on the Stanford University website. So, but what is a MOOC? And well, first of all, if you have any questions or, you want to ask something, just raise your hand. We'll try to do it as a discussion, and just don't be afraid to interrupt me. But what is a MOOC? Do any of you have ideas what MOOC stands for? Maybe some of you have experience with it. All right, that's great because we all came here to learn. And I thought, well, I wanted to start with this very nice video, which was made by one of the activists, online activists of Massive Open Online Courses Education. And I think it represents MOOCs greatly. Just an introduction.
The Massive Open Online Course is a response to the challenges faced by organizations and distributed disciplines in a time of information overload. It used to be that when you wanted to know about something, you could do a few things. You could ask someone, you could buy a book, you could try to figure it out for yourself, or you could call a school. If that school offered the course and the thing you were trying to figure out, you could go there and take it. You could get access to information about a topic. An instructor would comb through journals and books to pull the information together from a library. You might even find others who are also interested in the same things that you are. The MOOC is built for a world where information is everywhere, where a social network obsessed with the same thing that you are is a click away, a digital world. A world where an internet connection gives you access to a staggering amount of information. This video will introduce you to how a massive open online course is one way of learning in a networked world. A MOOC is a course, it's open, it's participatory, it's distributed, and it supports lifelong networked learning. In one sense, a massive open online course is just that. It's a course.
And I wanted to stop here and say, well, the points mentioned are very important because it's distributed all over the world, and participants can come from the variety of countries. And just also today, I came across the statistics from one of the platforms, and it was saying that the record was break by Future Learn educational platform, and they had like just, the numbers are crazy, almost 500,000 participants in one course, and participants were from more than 150 countries from all over the world. And I was simply amazed, like, wow, that's such a diverse environment of learners, and all of them came to learn about IELTS exam. And some of you may be familiar with it, and they all took this course by British, I think it was offered by British consuls, and they all were in the same classroom, a digital classroom. They all were sharing their experience. They all were making suggestions and things like that. And their experience was diverse, and it really helped them to complete the course till the end. So, and the other important fact and argument mentioned is lifelong learning. That's actually why we are all here, because even though we can stop going to the university or a school, we still continue to learn. And open online courses, it's a great opportunity for us to keep learning about different topics which are taught by the best professors from the best universities from the world. And I mean, the platform we will be using, it offers courses from Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Yale. Like, we are going to take a course from Berkeley University, which, like, their English writing program is one of the best in the country, and I think it's really inspiring. So let's just finish watching the video. It just has some interesting points.
It's facilitators and course materials. It has a start and an end date. It has participants. But a MOOC is not a school. It's not just an online course. It's a way to connect and collaborate while developing digital skills. It's a way of engaging in the learning process that engages what it means to be a student.
And it's not the whole video, you can find it online, but I just like the idea this is not just an online course. It's a way for us to collaborate together and learn new things together. And that is why EducationUSA wanted to start this MOOC club, because it's great to enroll in the online course and be a part of it, but it's even more rewarding experience if we have people come together in the same community and share their experience with the course. You know, we will be taking the same course, but we are our learning approaches, they are different. Somebody perceives information in one interesting way, and another person does it differently. And if you share it, you know, some great things can emerge out of it. And I would really like to see all of you in our second learning sessions, where we actually will be we will start learning the first materials from the course, where we will have discussions conducted, and when you will share what you think about the online courses in general. So to move on, I wanted to talk a little bit about, I mean, MOOCs in general emerged in the field of education very recently, I guess 5 years or so. It started from some very notable companies such as Coursera, edX, and Udacity. We will look specifically at edX platform, and I will talk about their history a little bit later, but Coursera and Udacity, they are also great companies which offer great online courses from the top universities. And there are some differences and there are some peculiarities of the MOOCs which you should be aware of before you take the actual course. And I guess the first one, which distinguishes the online course from a regular course you take in the university or a school, that the lectures, which are recorded for the learners, usually 10 to 20 minutes in length, and they recorded specifically for online sessions, which means you won't get just the recording of the presentation at school. They won't just record a lecture from the university. They will have a professor coming to a special room using special technology, which will enable you as an online learner to perceive material very differently. They will use technologies which will help you to understand it better. You know, they would use this like emerging pictures or diagrams, or they would write with the marker and the formulas would appear on the screen. And I mean, the wide variety of technologies which help to supplement like actual learning process. And the reason why 10 to 20 minutes lectures, some of them would be longer. I mean, it's not a standard for all the lectures, but this time showed to be the most effective. And usually learners tend to concentrate on the material specifically for this time frame, and then their attention starts to draw away. And as for every course, there would be quizzes which you would have to take. The quizzes would be usually multiple choice questions, which would be automatically graded for you by the system, and you would receive an immediate feedback. And we'll look at them a little bit later with the specific example. And it says integrated into lectures, which means that some videos, you would watch a video, let's say about programming and some introduction to some programming language. And if professor talks about how you make a computer do something specifically, you have to use this command. And then, like, let's say 10 minutes after he spoke about it, the video would stop, and you would on the screen you would see a multiple choice questions which would ask you something like, if you want computer to do this, which command would you use? And the 4 questions would come, like number 1 command, number 2, 3 of them would be wrong, obviously, and 1 of them would be right. And it's sort of like, it's a motivator. In order to continue to watch the lecture, you would have to answer it correctly. And as long as you answer them correctly, you would continue to your learning process. So I think it's kind of like a game, where you play with the professor. He wouldn't tell you more unless you answered the question right. I think it's funny. So the TAs and professors, they moderate discussion forums. And it's an interesting thing. Like the professor, well, we all understand the professor is in the course in order to teach the material. But also there are TAs, and those are teacher assistants. So in order to learn, you have to discuss with your peers, with your classmates, with somebody. The things you learn, you have to share them. And for that, they have discussion forums. And at discussion forums, you would raise a question about why this concept is presented in this particular way. Maybe you have a problem with learning something and you would ask for advice. Or, I mean, any type of a question. Maybe you want to introduce yourself and form a study group in your area. And TAs and professors would be there to help you moderate your discussion and actually have a meaningful discussions at the forums. But again, I mentioned it before, and I want to really stress this out, that the reason why we started the MOOC club at EducationUSA, because we want to sort of supplement and maybe even in some way replace the TAs and professors with our discussions inside our groups. Because for my learning experience was a lot different. I was alone in my community where I couldn't share with anybody what I was learning. I had to, find online study groups where people would discuss the material and join them. But if you have actual people coming to an actual place where you talk with them, where you give your feedback, where you share your thoughts, and with that, I mean, you would see that just in 1 week or so, your understanding of the material just changes dramatically. You start to look at things from the different perspective. You consider things differently because you spoke with someone who gave them their own insights on the topic. Closer to the end of the course, you would hear about letters, badges, and certificates of completion. Those are very interesting, I think, because they in some way motivate you to keep learning. And for some of you, you may think of them as like ways to enhance and supplement your resume and actually motivate you to keep learning, because you can receive a certificate. I remember when I enrolled in my first course, it was Introduction to Computer Science by Harvard. I thought, like, well, that's a Harvard and it's computer science. That's something really amazing. And the course was very long. I think it was like almost a half a year long course. And I didn't have enough motivation to keep learning on and on, because you have to, you have to push yourself every week to watch the video, to do the quizzes, to submit assignments. But what motivated me then was that I thought, well, if I complete the course, if I do all of the course materials and I submit them, one day, just being in Ukraine, I can print out a certificate which has Harvard on it and my name right next to it. And I thought, like, well, that's something I can be really proud of. So maybe for some of you, it would be a great motivation to keep learning. But really what's important, that's the material you learn, the experience you have. That's what is really rewarding. It doesn't matter where you receive a certificate or not. What matters is the knowledge that you are earning with the help of the Harvard, MIT, or any other institution. I mean, just some miscellaneous things, like obvious is there would be assignments, because it's a course. You have to do some work in order to learn something. So you would have to, as I mentioned before, you have to do quizzes. Some courses, I think the one we will be taking, it would require you to, at some point, to write a whole essay. And I expect that our learning group would give a feedback to each other, that we would share our thoughts about how great the essay is. But in this system of learners, you would submit your essay to, I think, 5 random people. Each of them would read it, and they would grade it and give the feedback. And usually, I mean, at some point, I took this course, I think a year ago. And I received a feedback from a boy from the US. Obviously, most of the learners would come from the US. But there was a guy from Nigeria, from Pakistan, and I think Bangladesh. And all of their feedbacks were unique in their own way. Some people thought, like, no, you wrote about this. And I know from my cultural experience that it isn't the same way in my country. So why don't you consider this perspective? And again, if we would be in this community of learners at EducationUSA, we can give the same experience to each other live, not online, not through the keyboard and computer screen, but actually learning together. And just a fun fact, right, as I mentioned before, the classes would be large. And as I mentioned, the record was almost like 500,000 participants in the course. And some of the courses you would be taking would be that large, but some of them can be a lot smaller, like 1,000 participants, maybe 10,000 participants. And that's just the usual class size, which actually can be fit. You can't give a class at the university where there would be like 1,000 participants sitting in the same classroom, listening to the same professor, doing the same assignments. But it all possible with the help of technology and the learning in online courses. So I mentioned it a couple of times, this edX platform, and this is my favorite. And I mean, the creators and founders, I adore them for what they do and what they continue doing in order to help learners from all over the world to continue learning. This platform, the company itself, was founded by Harvard and MIT back in 2010, I think. So the 2 main contributors to this program are Harvard and MIT institutes, but among them, there are many others from Ivy League and not Ivy League universities. So this is a non-profit platform, which means they don't charge you for any of their courses. All of the courses you would see on their website, which are presented there, they would be free, absolutely. You will see some prices. I will talk about them a little bit later when we will go on the website, which will happen very soon. You will see some prices, but you can, any course which is presented on the site, you can take it for free. And they promise that they will keep this method, this approach forever. So it means any course which can be possibly taught at Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Yale, you can find it online for free if they present it. I mean, that was, that would draw me to this platform, and I was simply amazed. So let's stop talking just abstract things. And if you have your laptops, you can Google edX.org. And I mean, do you have any questions? Because I just can get really excited and maybe skipping things. Do you have any questions you would like to me to answer? Okay, so yeah, the Wi-Fi is over there. It's restless 93 at 8H. So yeah, I'll give you a second to log in. So yeah, again, if you Google edX.org, you would probably see something like this. This is okay. Yeah, it's.
You guys all got your passwords?
Yeah, question. The courses are free, but what about certificates?
Oh, that's a very important question. That's a good question that you answered. Question. Sorry. So the certificates itself, I will actually, when we will register for the first course, I will show you. But they are free too. There are three types of certificates really. On this website, they're free, and you can see they say this Introducing Global Freshman Academy. So the first type of the certificate, this is the free one. You will get it for any course. If you complete the course and you earn, as they say, passing grade, which is probably like 70%, 80% grade of the course, you would receive it for sure. And I can actually demonstrate it to you because I thought it would be, for some of you, it would be interesting. So if you take the course and you complete it, you would receive something like this. So there would be like an honor code certificate. It would have your name on it. It would have a name of the course. It would also have like the name of the professor, the name of some important people who contributed to the course. And this certificate will be issued to you for free. This is a PDF file which you can just download from the course page. And I have a couple of them printed just for myself. I like that, but most of them I can keep just in a digital version. There is also, so for this certificate, you pay nothing. So they don't require you to pay. But there is also, so there is also what they call the verified certificate, which they sometimes call also valuable. It looks a little bit different. So if we click view a sample, that would look something like this. Again, it would have your name, course name, some signatures from the professors. And for those, you would have to pay. And the price can be very much different. It depends from the university and the course you take. I've seen some of them to be like $500 for a course, and some of them would be like $29 for the course. So, you can predict. But the difference is that this certificate actually requires you to submit your photo, I think, your actual signature. And when you take the final exam, if there is one, it would have a camera, and I think the actual person actually looking at you, that you don't cheat on the exam, that there is actually you who takes the final exam, not somebody else whom you asked to work for you and then receive a certificate. So this one would require you to pay and do additional work. So it's kind of interesting. And but we, don't think about this one for now. We can, if you're interested, we can talk about that later. But just know that it exists, but don't worry, it's not important. And there is this third one, and it's a it's a recent initiative that edX started. It called Global Freshman Academy, and they partnered with Arizona State University, and simply what they did, they asked, well, okay, professors from Arizona, you want to offer your courses online. What if we offer your courses online, let the students enroll in it for free, again, for free, all of the courses free. They can complete the course, submit all of the assignments, receive a free certificate, but if they want to, they can pay additional price and receive actual university credits. For those of you who don't know what the university credit is, in the US, their educational system is based on the thing that you have a certain amount, you have a credit requirements that you need to fulfill in order to graduate, and those courses give you an opportunity to complete first freshman year courses, which is the first year student at Arizona State University, and you can pay for them like you would pay for your tuition price, which is like actually going to the university. But instead, you can take those courses online, complete them, pay for the credit, and receive the credit. And when the CEO of edX was giving an interview about this initiative with Arizona State University, he said that his dream was one day to have this whole range of courses which you would take, which you would complete, and if you completed with the passing grade, you would pay for the credits and you would receive the actual degree, let's say a degree of Bachelor of Journalism, online. You would do all of the work, you would pay for the credits, but your tuition would be much more affordable. You wouldn't have to pay for transportation to the university, for housing at the campus, for textbooks, because you could either, the textbooks would be provided on the website, or you would have a free ebook, or maybe the ebook price would be much smaller. So you would save like hundreds and thousands of US dollars, and for sure Ukrainian hryvnias, but you would still get the same education as you would if you would be sitting in the classroom. But I mean, comparatively the same. You wouldn't experience the campus, of course, but the information, you would have an access to it. So, but yeah, that's just about the certificates. Do you have any other questions about the certificates, how they work? Okay, cool, we can move on.
I just want to quickly add that actually University of Arizona, they have one of the strongest online programs in the States. So I guess that's why, I'm not sure the background, but I guess that's why edX initially thought of partnering with Arizona State University. But if you guys interested in checking out how you can earn your online degree, actually get a degree from the States online, you can definitely check out Arizona State University and how people do that. So that's one of the ways. And that's not a, how to say, zaochna osvita, or
Yeah.
you should not look down upon it. That's what I'm saying. Online education in the States is absolutely qualified as a good education, not worse than an education that you can receive in person. It depends on what kind of learner you are. Do you prefer to learn online in that way, or do you learn better in the environment of other people? So that's, I guess, the interesting thing I should just add to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So only Arizona University has such an academy?
No, Arizona State University has online programs that is kind of popular and very much known amongst people in the States and abroad. But there are other institutions in the United States that also offer online education. So you can get your degree online.
Yeah, I was, while you were talking, I thought I would Google. There is such a thing like extension school, or as you mentioned, distance learning, which is very popular across different universities. So if you Google like Harvard Extension School, it would say study part-time at Harvard in online or evening classes. So the thing would be appropriate for us. It would be online, and you can, look up undergraduate degrees, bachelors of liberal arts program, and simply you would take some courses online. Maybe for some of them you would have to come on campus and talk with professors. I mean, this thing at Harvard, it's more like suitable for people, for US citizens, which while the Learning Global Freshman Academy at edX, this is suitable for any like citizen of the world simply. So yeah, but that's like online course is possible for different schools. So you can Google if you are interested, or you can ask me. I just learned that things not a long time ago. So I was just going to show you. Excuse me. I wanted to show you some courses which are available. Like let's say if you want to be an astronomer, you can enroll in Introduction to Solar Systems Astronomy, which would, you know, they probably would fulfill. I know that Australian University has 4 courses which is like they fulfill the first year requirement of being a student at Australian University, and you can actually do them online. So if you can, you know, complete the courses, pay for the credit, and then you would fulfill all of the requirements of astrophysics at Australian University, which is, I know, that's kind of amazing, I think. So yeah, that's enough for certificates. We came here just to learn. So if you go, I think all of you who have the devices, you can find the edX course, edX website, and there are many courses available. I think for now they have more than like 500 plus. And the first thing you would see, actually, the course we would be working with the next months or so. But before we look at it like specifically, I wanted to point out some important parts of the website. So there are obviously courses, and if you look at it, the range of topics is just like, you know, it's really, it's amazing. I mean, just I can't really comprehend the variety of subjects. Like you can do medicine, philanthropy, entrepreneurship, ethics, data analysis, and all of them just like the range of courses which you can complete and then earn the actual knowledge from one of the best universities. Then a little bit lower on the website, you would see some of the most popular courses starting soon. And for example, there is an MIT course, Introduction to Computer Science. Well, I wouldn't suggest do this one. It's a very hard one. I didn't complete it. I couldn't like go through the first week, to be true. Then I am currently taking this course of the Science of Everyday Thinking, and I love it a lot. It's University of Queensland from Australia, and the course simply talks about, you know, how we perceive the world around us, how we think about things, how we think about thinking, and they have the people and the professors who come there to present their ideas. They teach at world's best university. There are professors from Stanford, from Harvard. There are Mythbusters, the people who do Mythbusters in one of the episodes, and they share their ideas about how people learn about science. So, you know, we can do this course later. Once we complete the first one, we can move on. So yeah, and you also can browse courses by institutions. So if you would want to complete the courses specifically from Harvard, you would you would click like View All Courses. And then you can, well, you would have to find, so, okay, so while we are here, we can actually see that there are 149 courses which are happening right now. There are 180 which are starting soon, and 72 which are upcoming, and yeah, so there are many, many courses. So if, let's say you want to complete courses from MIT specifically, then you click just at MIT, you read about them, and then you can browse through MIT MOOCs, and I mean, MIT has a lot of them, to be true. I mean, more than 100, I think. And some of them are going on right now, some of them starting soon. So, but we came here to learn about how to write an essay. And this is actually, so as for your homework, you would have to register on the edX. I mean, it's very, very easy. You just put your name. I would only suggest that you put your actual name and your first name and last name, because some people tend to, you know, do anonymous. I don't know why. They just make up some random last name, and then when they complete the course and they receive a certificate, the certificate would actually say like Dennis some weird name, and you know, you can present the certificate to somebody and say, well, that's me who did the course. So if you if you choose the course, you click and go on their the course's website. And first things you would see in an introductory video. You can watch it later at home while you're doing your homework, registering and enrolling in the class. You would read a short description. This one says an introduction to academic writing for English language learners, and blah, blah, blah. Then you can read a descriptive description about the course. And this one actually says that it partners with the US Department of State. And I recently learned that the network of EducationUSA advising centers all over the world asked Berkeley English writing program to create this. It is a series of courses. There are how to write an essay, academic writing, fundamentals of English grammar, and all of them presented for learners from all over the world, from different countries where EducationUSA resides, and even where it is not, in order to help them fulfill first year or even admission requirements to United States University, or simply learn English. You know, instead of, if you plan to take TOEFL or IELTS, instead of like going, having a tutor for which you have to pay, and I don't even know what the prices are right now. They probably like skyrocket. And like you would have to pay enormous amount of money for your tutor. You can simply enroll in the course, have the same, like even better professor talk to you, present even more exciting material, and then come to the MOOC club at the EducationUSA and discuss the ideas presented in the course and actually practice. You know, practice speaking, practice writing, practice composing essays and things like that. But
can I just one more thing? Sorry to interrupt, but as you know, one of the essential parts of your application is actually to write your essay for those who are applying for undergraduate programs, and for those who are applying for graduate programs, it's essential for you to know how to write your statement of purpose. That's one of the key portions of your entire application package. Okay. That is why EducationUSA was very, very excited to partner and actually encourage Berkeley to have that course offered to all of the international students all over the world, so you guys can actually be better at your writing because of the course that you have gone through, because of the information that you received. So your application essay looks marvelous. And so with Denise's help and with the EducationUSA MOOC Club in Kiev, this is what we're trying to do. You will learn through the course how to be better writer, and then hopefully together in the peer review atmosphere, I would say we would actually give advice to each other to work on your actual application essays and statements of purpose. And then in the next month, we will have additional presentations and workshops on how to write your essay. So think about this not only as a fun way to be introduced to online learning, but this is one of the essential steps for your application process to US higher education institutions. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say
you can't stress enough how important an essay for your application. You know, you can sort of fail the tests if you apply. Your activities couldn't be so impressive, but you can write an essay which would, you know, when admission officers would read your essay, they would like, you know, almost start crying because your story would be so appealing, and they would, you know, they would really want to get to know you better, and they would be so motivated to offer you a place at their universities in order for you to share your story with the rest of the campus. So essay is an integral part of your application, and, you know, never ever think that it's not important. So, but as far as the course concerned, when you register, you will be logged in your account, and you search for this course, how to write an essay, and you will have an option to enroll. But first, I would really want you to pay close attention to this part of the page, which says the length. So the course would be 1 month and 1 week, so 5 weeks. The price is free, as we mentioned before. You can pay $49 for a verified certificate, but we wouldn't. I mean, we don't have to, and we probably don't need to. It says that an institution, so it's Berkeley, the subject is in humanities, and it's an introductory course. So the language of the course would be English. Great, we all know English. The important part is effort. That means the course producers, the professor himself or herself, they estimated that people who take the course, for whom English is not the first language, they would have to contribute from 5 to 6 hours a week to actually complete all of the assignments in the course and earn 100% 100% points for the course. But you know, from my personal experience, it's a little bit harder at the beginning. You would actually have to, you know, give like 5 hours a week. And if you think about it, I mean, really it's an hour a day. And it's not so stressful as the coursework at the university. You just come, you relax, you watch the video from the professor, then you do multiple choice questions, maybe you do some reading, additional reading, and it's, you know, it's even entertaining in some way if you like the topic. And I would strongly encourage you to enroll in the courses which you really want to finish, not something like, well, that sounds like I need to do this, but I don't really want to. No, you don't have to enroll there. You just enroll in the courses you like. So it's not, 5 to 6 hours, that would be nothing. But another important thing is prerequisites. And for this course, I think for all of us, the prerequisites would be fulfilled. Like it says, students should be proficient enough in English to follow an introductory level university course. And even if you feel a little bit uncomfortable, they would provide additional explanation or additional sources which you can reach to and do some additional learning. But you would be able to complete the course. So this is not something really hard. Closer to the bottom of the page, you would see the part what you learn. So you will learn basic grammar, things like we are taught at school. It's actually, for me, I mean, it was very interesting to see for some of the courses, like let's say with mathematics or English, because I learned English through the edX, and that's the only way. I couldn't I couldn't stand high school courses. They were like very exhausting for me. So I learned English through edX course, and they would present basic grammar terminology and basic grammar understanding. So you would be able to compare how the teacher at high school or at university tried to teach you English and the way that the professor from Berkeley would try to teach you English. So it's kind of an interesting comparison of two sources. So yeah, you can see the professor. This is in this case, this is Maggie Sokolik. She's the director of college writing programs at University of California, Berkeley. And well, there's more information about verified certificate, but for some of the future courses and for this one, if you are interested, you can look at the reviews, which means that students who took the course, who received a passing grade, who did well in the course, they ask them to write a review about the course and kind of like grade the professor, grade the course materials, the way it's presented. And I mean, this course has 4.5 out of 5, and it's a very high score to be true, because some students say, well, I didn't like this course, so I'm going to give it like only 1 star. And some say, well, I kind of liked it, so I could give it 3. And this one has a very, very high score and has 56 reviews, so a lot of people did it. So when you register, you read all of this information, you think, well, I want to take the course. I think I would fulfill all of the requirements. I know that I will complete it. You click enroll now, sort of like enrolling in the college. So again, it would kind of like ask, it would say, congratulations, you are now enrolled in this course. So as for now, you are taking the course already. But they would say, well, maybe you want to pursue a verified certificate. And again, it's like $49. And you say, well, I don't have this money, or I don't need to. I don't need an official approval that I did the course. So you just say, I want to audit the course, simply listen to the lectures, complete all of the materials. And it's important to understand that if you, regardless of whether you pay for the certificate or not, well, whether you do a verified certificate or just a regular certificate, the materials in the course would be the same for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you pay or not. The professor's lectures, the materials in the course, amount of homework and things like that, they would be exactly the same for everyone. So you click audit this course, and okay, right now you would be transferred to your dashboard. This is like a page of all the courses you take. So I have some courses I take, so there are a lot of them. And actually, when you complete one, you would have like this course. You would be able to download the certificate, but we'll have to scroll down. Okay, here is here is the course. Okay, here is the course. You would have only one course available. So I enrolled in many. I'm not taking all of them to be true. I liked some of the topics, and I thought, well, that would be very interesting, but I don't have the time to do all of them. So you would have only one. It would be how to write an essay, and it started yesterday, right? Well, no, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So you would be able to access all of the course material. So you click View Course, and the first page you would see would be the course info page. Here is the greetings from the course team and the professor. There would be also, as the course progresses, you would see updates like, let's say, we posted next week assignments, or the due date, the deadline for the next homework is approaching. So please do if you haven't done so before. So here all the updates happen, and if the course has some handouts or announcements, they would appear only here. Again, there is a discussion tab. That's where the discussion forum is. People introduce themselves here, they write their questions, and they communicate with each other. I hope that I would see, like, if not all of you, at least most of you next time we meet. I will announce when would be the next time, so we can come close together and help each other to learn, actually to discuss on our own. But if you prefer, if you also would like to look at the discussion forum, that's okay. People write some very interesting stuff there. I mean, really. And the teachers, you can ask the question you didn't understand from the lecture, and the professor who taught the lecture, he would actually respond to it. So that's like connection with the professor. There's also a wiki page. The Wikipedia. I mean, so the same thing for the course. If new like terminology, maybe some definitions would be given, they would be actually here, so you can look it up. For now, the course has just started. There is no materials which were presented, so just it's almost blank. It just has some Facebook information. Also important to take a look at the syllabus. The syllabus is it's like the course outline. The professor would write a course description again. They would mention some recommendations, and they would also they would usually include additional readings. Like they would say, as any professor in the university, they would say, you are taking this class and I wrote this book, so maybe you want to check it out. You don't have to buy that, anything like that. Some of them may be available for free. Some of them you can Google and find them. I don't encourage you to do so. That's illegal. But I just so you can find them on Amazon, some like retailer sites. But you don't have to buy them or rent or something like that. You can follow. They would present, apart from the books they suggest you to read, they would present you with like actual reading materials in the class, which can be, you can just read them and get the same amount of information. Then they would have a course outline, like in the first week, they would do the grammar review, then the sentences and paragraphs, thesis statement, the actual essay, the revision practices, and you can, browse and think, well, I can sort of like do a little work for the first week because I know this material very well, but I know I have to plan that for the second week, I need to dedicate a lot of the course material to this like learning process. And they would actually include, here's also an information, the grading policy. So if you, what does it say? Okay, so even if you miss some assignments, as long as your average is 50%, which means you complete 50% of the course, which is like 2.5 weeks. I mean, it's like, I guess 15 hours of work, not like if you distribute over the week, not so much, you can still receive a certificate and you can prove someone that you did some work. And yeah, so it ended basically outlines how much percent goes for each type of work, but we are not interested in it for now. So the most important part of the course is the courseware page. This is where learning happens. Here you would have an outline of all weeks of all your assignments and learning material. So if you really look at this, there is like 2 parts of the page. Here there is only 1 week for now because it just started, so they don't have like week 2, week 3, but they would add them as the course progresses. Like let's say next, what that would be, like next Monday, they would add week 2, and then Monday after that they would add week 3, and on and on and on. So, and for the first week you have parts which you have to complete, those called modules, and this is where, this main screen, this is where you will be presented with the main course material. So if we click, like every course would have welcome to the course page. This is where you would, maybe introduce yourself. They would even have, if you look actually, I think they have, that's all, I mean, that's impressive because that's all of the learners they have. And if I saw correct, they have Julia from Ukraine taking the course, or I mean, if I saw correctly, they had like 257 students from Ukraine taking this course, and wow, that's impressive. And like still, all of us will also do it. So I mean, that's kind of impressive. Welcome to the course. You can do it. I mean, through this you will browse. Watch the video from the professor. It's very interesting. She would talk about what you can expect of the course, how it will, how they will present material. Again, you can browse through the syllabus, and things like that. And they would give you some suggestions, maybe. But then that's the very like introductory part. Then you move on to the actual course material. So they would present you with ideas in grammar terminology. And I mean, it might sound scary. I remember the first course I took, they had this all like crazy words popping up from the screen, like grammar terminology and like conditional sentences and the past perfect, present perfect. I still don't understand all of them. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But in reality, it might sound like scary at first, but then if you look carefully, they would give you, like for every topic, they would present you with a link or an excerpt from the book, which you can read and, I mean, really understand the material and get your hands on it. So you can read about grammar terminology, and that's then in this part, you would see like the name, parts of the speech, parts of writing, and you would have this like small little thing which says homework due September 21st. And that means that if you want to do the homework and if you want to receive a certificate, and the time is universal time zone, I think. That's like we are a little bit far behind. So you have additional hours to submit the homework? Yeah.
Yes. Plus 3 hours.
Plus 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Eastern time, Eastern European summertime, I think, right now. So you can actually Google.
Yeah, if you Google,
time zones.
I would suggest you don't wait until the last minute to submit all of your homework. That's kind of not the best practice to do the work, but I mean, it's up to you. But plan to do like a day before. I just remember that the course they planned to start the course on September 14th, and I could only access it from Ukraine on September 15th. So I just remember that thing, that we are a little bit different. So it means that it has the video icon on it, so it would present you with some concept on parts of speech or parts of writing. And then it has this like quiz icon. So you would click on it, and you would see that based on the video which was presented to you with some funny pictures, you would have a multiple choice quiz. Like in the first sentence, was hopping is an example of, and you have 4 choices, and you can, you have, it says check and save, and you have used 0 out of 2 submissions, which means for every question in this multiple choice, you have 4 options to choose, and you have actually 2 tries. So if you, let's say, you say it's a compound noun and it's wrong, I mean, that's probably past progressive. Past progressive, yeah. So if you choose compound noun that would mark it wrong, you still have one try to go and choose past progressive and get the point. And the points says 1 point possible. So you would actually receive points, and then closer to the end, or you can check it as often as you can, as you want. You go to the progress page, and it would have your first homework grade, your second homework grade, third, and quizzes, and all of them add together and form your final grade. So that's based on what they issue or not. They see whether or not you received enough points to get the certificate or not. So then you have another quiz, which is due September. And for those of you, and I think that's all of you, who would be really excited about learning how to write an essay and basics of English grammar, you can go on and do the week 1 additional homework. So this is optional. You don't have to complete it. And if you decide to do so, you wouldn't receive any additional points. This is just up to you whether you do it or not. But what they do is they provide you some, some links where you can go and read about, well, this one actually about exercises, and this one about grammar, also grammar exercises, some additional readings from the book. So you can do it on your own, just see whether you got the hands on the material for sure. But again, it wouldn't count towards your final grade. So if you did bad in the quiz, which you won't, but you want to fulfill it now. And this course actually has a very, I looked at it just before the presentation, it has a contest. So it says you can win a copy of the paperback workbook series of college writing from the Berkeley University, which they will mail to you for free as long as they can mail it to you. And they can mail to Ukraine. I checked it. And just what you have to do is log in with your Facebook page, which you all have because you came here. So that means that you came to learn about this presentation from Facebook. You log in, or you can use your email, so that's not a problem. You write your favorite English word, and you are good. So I assume you can do only one entry per person. So I assume that. Well, it has 6 days left. I assume that you would put your favorite word. They would somehow choose the best one, and they would decide that this, or maybe the most common word, and 6 people would be chosen, and they would mail their books to them. But you don't have to do anything incredible for it. Just come up with some very funny name like consequences and write it. I always write consequences, my favorite word for those questions. And just mail it to them, and maybe one day you would look in the post office and you would get the 3 books from college writing from Berkeley. I mean, that's kind of great. So I think that's all what we have to do about the edX. And another video I wanted to share with you. This course, I looked at it today, and the course has this video included. And I think the video itself represents how you can actually succeed in the MOOC, what kind of approaches you can take in order to take most of it and, just get the rewarding experience. And some of it, most of the practices we would try to implement in the MOOC club at EducationUSA. So,
So you've just registered for your first MOOC and you're wondering what to do next. There are many ways you can succeed in a MOOC. You might just want to follow along and get a sense of the topic. You might be doing it for course credit. You might be doing it to develop a new learning network, or to help finish that project you're working on. This video is how I look at success in a massive open online course.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to get you bored with that. I just wanted to show you the first part. I just wanted to say that this video is included in the course itself. So you would browse through the course materials and you would see it, watch it at home. And your next steps would be, so if you want to join the MOOC club at EducationUSA, please provide us with your contact information. I think we would have a laptop available where you can put your first name, your last name, and your email, so we can, email you and remind you that we have a meet up with the students coming up. Then you have to do the homework and things like that. Then when you come home, or maybe on your way to home in the metro, you can start working on your first homework, which is to register for the course and enroll in the course and look through the first week materials. So please keep in mind that the due date is September 21st, and we are going to meet at September 22nd at 6 p.m. at American Consuls, which is located at Esplanade 20, 6th floor. That's near Palat Sport, the metro station. So when you come to this meeting, you would need to have your work homework completed. So the first, it's only 2 quizzes, so it's not something like scary, and I'm pretty sure all of you can do it like in 15 minutes. And then starting from September 22nd, we would actually start working on this course materials together. And what I expect, and we will adjust our learning style based on how we proceed. We would just have a group discussions, watch the videos, again, discuss them and things like that. Based on how we proceed and how we want to learn that, we would do that. And if you have any questions, please send me, ask me right now or after the presentation, or send me an email at kulikdenis@gmail.com. And again, thank you to Stanford University who presented us with amazing materials for some of the work. So thank you too for your attention. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So thank you all for coming today, and good luck with your adventure in learning. Thank you.